What is how everybody? My name is Cody, and I am here breaking down this NFL preseason slate for August 20th. Before we get to subscribe, the Healthy Channel, yeah, this is the Thursday slate, so it's gonna be fun. It's a two-game slate, Raiders and Texans, and then we have the 49ers and Chargers. The Texans are 2.5 point favorites, 38 over and under, and then same 38 over and under for the second game, with the Chargers as 1.5 point favorites. So we got one game underneath our belts already. So that's the good part is we kind of have what we're looking at so far. And then yeah, we're gonna continue. Shout out to the Cowboys signing Von Miller. The boys are back. My Cowboys this is our year. Yeah, if you don't agree, you don't agree. But hey, every year's our year, right? So I'm gonna take a quick drink. We're gonna go team by team, and kind of talk about this slate. So let's get this ramped up. So Las Vegas Raiders. So we have Kirk Cousins who started, Mendoza, Connell, and Clark. So if we look back at the Raiders, Mendoza looked good, 10 for 16, 97 yards at a TD. He looked poised. I really liked it. Kirk Cousins, Kirk O'Chains looked good. And then you have Aiden O'Connell who went 4 for 13, 85 yards, and then Jack Clark didn't see any run. So or Jacob Clark, sorry. But yeah, Mendoza against the Houston Texans defense. I mean, we saw what the Chargers did against the Texans, so I do like Mendoza here. But obviously salary doesn't matter. But Mendoza would be my pick. And then running back, we saw Mike Washington get some run. Ashton Jeanty, obviously 3 carries. Sorry, looking at my phone. Labe, 5 carries, 11 yards, didn't look good though. And Roman Himby surprisingly only had 3. I was really expecting Roman Himby to see a little bit more run and Adair didn't see any run. So I think we're going to get a little bit more Himby. Again, I could be wrong though, but I do think that Himby would be the main go-to guy once again. Obviously Washington saw the 6 carries for 63 yards. The 53 young yarder though was kind of what had what got him those yards, that long breaking run. But Labe, I just don't really want to get to. I would rather just take a chance on Himby. And then receivers, it was mainly Benson who stood out. Malik Benson, yeah, has been getting more reps with the first team. So what does that mean? Um, eh, for this game, that's the million-dollar question. Beck 3 for 25 on a TD looked good. Trey Tucker the starter, we know that. But everybody else kind of split run. And then even with the tight, I don't know why I keep clicking on this one. Even with the tight ends, while we go over there, Michael Mayer looked good, obviously, with the first team. But then you have Albert O and Ian Thomas see a catch. So again, I do want to get to some Mendoza. That would be the main guy I want to go to. Maybe some of the running backs and then receivers. I'm going to go right back to the wall with Benson, to kind of wrap that up on the Raiders. So on the Texans, though, we got news. So no Mertz. Graham Mertz, yeah, towards ACL, he's out. So they just signed Brett Ripon. So he's a longtime vet. They're going to need obviously that quarterback to be behind Davis Mills and CJ Stroud. Um, so is it going to be Ripon for the rest of the season? I don't really know. But for this preseason aspect, we're going to want to get to Brett Ripon because Davis Mills, I don't think is going to see a lot of run. Davis Mills, yeah, went 9 for 15. And yeah, Mertz for go for 4 for 7. So I do like going to Brett Ripon, who I think they're going to want to get some playing time. Running back is where I want to go to as well. So no Pittsburgh. I'm going to go right back to the well of knowing Winnington. It looked great. Woody Marks and Dan Montgomery, they're not going to want much of. And you have Gerard Jordan, who's still injured. I believe, yeah, he's the hip flexor, roughly a week. British Brooks just had surgery on the hand. So yeah, Pittsburgh on the IR. So yeah, it's Winnington and Owen Wright. So I do like both of those guys. I'm gonna get to Owen Wright. I'm gonna get to a lot of Noah Winnington. So for me, I want those running backs. Receivers, I do like Josh Kelly. We talked him up last slate. And then yeah, let's say Josh Kelly, Jared Wayne. Again, don't expect that again, but all these guys, like I said, I do like Luis Bond seeing some snaps. So tight end wise, though, I don't want to go right back to the well of Marlon Klein. I talked about him last slate. I want to go right back to him. And then San Francisco, let's go over there. So Curtis Work and Adrian Martinez both looked great. They both balled out. They looked fantastic. Yeah, but he was hospitalized during Thursday night's opener against Titans due to shortness of breath caused by rib injury. So he should be fine though. So yeah, it's gonna be their show. They're working Adrian Martinez. So again, you can pick and choose which one. I want to get to both. I'll have a split exposure to both. So running backs, once again, I really want to go to. We're looking at all these injuries. Sincere McCormick would be the go-to guy for me. And then Khalil Herbert saw some run, wasn't really efficient though. But Zamir White just signed, yeah, on August 12th. So hey, we could see him get some run as well. So just keep that in mind. I don't think Patrick Taylor saw, yeah, 5 carries, but he went negative 5 yards, but he had that TD. Um, Receivers, Stribling and Watkins were your go-to options. So Jordan Watkins the ownership is gonna be high on both of those guys once again. It's well deserved. They've looked great. Tight ends, Degara saw the catch, but again, I don't really want to go to these tight ends. And then let's talk about the Chargers as the slate up. So as gross as it sounds, DJU looked good. 6 for 9, 120 yards, one TD. Trey Lance, 12 for 20, 164 yards, and one interception, but he had 3 carries for 27 yards. I'd much rather just go to DJU if I had to pick. Right back, though, Dossier, Rosers, I do like, but Amir Johnson looked good, or Amar Johnson, sorry, looked good. And then receivers, Lambert Smith had an okay game, but there's not much really that stands out to me on the receivers wise. I don't really want to get to this. I really don't want to get to this team. Uh, Johnny Pascuzzi looked good in his preseason debut. But for me, like I said, I kind of want to. My main focus for this slate, I want to get to this Texans team. I want some of Mendoza if they allow him to play a little bit more or the same amount of snaps. But yeah, this Houston running back situation is what I really want to go to. The San Fran running back situation, you're going to have to split some as well. Receivers, I'll be looking at, like I said, the Raiders, um, the 49ers for sure, and then sprinkle some Texans. I just don't want to get a lot of these Chargers other than a tight end spot. But there are ups to the slate for us as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's a great service tonight. Everybody have a good one.